Now here's a quick overview of LayerManager. I'm just going to create from the sample drawing in the office, a layout cubicle drawing. So we see we've got this, and this shape comes in multiple layers. If we're looking at normal Visio buttons, we can see that these are all the layers that are currently being used on this page, and you can see a count of the shapes that are on each layer. So with LayerManager installed, you get these layer buttons here, and the same sort of information is available if you press refresh the shape count on here, but it's a bit more detailed because it's giving me the shape which are on no layer, and you can see here that there's a 0. It says here are the top level shapes. Now what do we mean by top level shapes? Well, Visio shapes can be group shapes and contain other shapes within them. So in this case, we can see that there are some shapes on this page which have actually got a layer for the top, or multiple layers on the top, but have got no layer assigned to the bottom. Well, what does that actually do for you? Well, it just makes it difficult to toggle things on and off. Let me give you just a quick clue on how this works. So if I was just to click on this item of furniture here, for example, and I'll examine its shapes layers, and I can just filter to the selection, then we see that it's on furniture and movable furniture. So from the page layers, I can just bring out the furniture as a toggle button. Now that, if I was just to toggle that, by double clicking it, it's apparently having no effect of appearance, the visibility of that piece of furniture. But if you look on the right hand side into the page layers, when I do the toggle, it is switching on and off the visible and print. So that's what the toggle buttons do. It just reverses whatever is in the visible and print. So why aren't I seeing that disappear? Because we just found that is also on the movable furniture layer. So if I drag and drop that onto there, I've now got a button which is actually giving me both of those layers together, which I can toggle. So if I now double click, you can see that not only does that one disappear from view, but also that one over there. So that enables us to change the visibility of the shapes easily by having a toggle button. Now, if I look at this equipment over here and look at the shape layers of this equipment, we can see that this is one of the types of shapes that Microsoft have badly constructed, to be honest, that they've got the top level on computer and equipment, but the shapes underneath are on no layer. So that means that if I go to the computer and do a similar sort of button, right, and equipment, and drop that onto there, I've now got this button. If I toggle that, right, you can see that the keyboard and the base unit, they are actually working correctly. They're being toggled on and off. But this monitor here has got incorrect shape layering, and that is going to be for, this is a larger drawing, that will be all instances of this monitor. However, we've got a button here to fix that. So if I click on, I've got that selected, and now I go to fix that. It says, do I want to ensure all subshape layers are the same as the top monitor? Yes, I do. So that now means that if I was to expand this, that monitor has got the layer assignment to its subshapes correct as well. So therefore, when I click this, we can see that they are switched on and off. Right, if I looked at this item equipment over here, see its electrical appliances, and it also has got a similar problem in that it's been badly constructed. So I can just fix that by doing yes. And now if I was to bring electrical appliance and power and comms as buttons, so power and comms, doesn't matter which one I start with, and electrical appliance, and drag that onto there, we've now got a button here which can toggle off the electrical appliances. So that way we can toggle the view of our equipment if we wanted to. And we could make them all like that if we wanted to, but there's other things that you might want to do. So the original question might be, how do you assign layers to shapes? Well, let me just create a shape like this, right? And I'll just assign a layer. So on the home ribbon, you go to layers and you go assign layer. So if I was to assign that as something, let's say it was on furniture and movable furnishings, which is that one there, I do OK. Now it has got a layer assigned to that. I'll just give it a fill so you can see it's a bit more dramatic. And if I now assign, double click this, we see that that also now goes on and off. Okay, and if I go to assign layers and I took one of those off, it's now only on one layer. It will potentially, because I'm toggling both of those layers, that's also working. But if I assign that to and add it to, let's say, non-movable, like that, right, that's going to stay visible, because what Visio does is say, well, you've got one of my layers off, you've got one layer on, therefore I'm going to leave it on, right? So it doesn't just do what you're saying, one of the layers. They've all got to be off for it to be invisible. Okay, so that way you can get assign layers to a shape, and you can have multiple layers to a shape or no layers to a shape. So if you just draw something, it's on no layer to begin with. Most things that come out of a stencil, quite a lot of things come out of a stencil, have already got layers assigned to them when they bring them in. For example, the desk chair, when I bring that in, all right, it has got layers assigned to it, and it is one of the badly constructed ones, if I remember right. So we can see that it has got sub-shapes within that chair, and they've not been assigned correctly. So if I just toggle that now that chair is going to be toggling on and off, and all instances of that chair are going to be toggled on and off. So that's a quick review of the toggle buttons, assigning layers to shapes, and what is a layer set. A layer set enables me to, let's say, for example, I am going to switch off all my computer equipment, my electrical, right, and well, I'll just leave that as it is at the moment. I can now create a new button here. I wish I put it down there, and give that a name. Let's say no equip, so like so. And I can now say, well, my layer set action is I'm going to save this layer set. And what that does, no equip now, is going to be saving. If I looked at the XML, it's all installed in that XML within that button there. So the no equip is going to have me without equipment on. If I switch on this like so, I could have had another one. Let's just create one here with his, call that with equip. Okay, and if I now save that layer set, like so, right, I've now got layer sets which I can toggle between by just going no equip, with equip, right, and you could see that the indicator that those computer and equipment and electrical appliance, Paranacom, the indicator went on and off as I toggle that. So it enables me to group things like that. Why would you want to do that? Well, there's other things you can do on those layer sets because there are multiple settings, as you can see here, for pages, sorry, the layers in a page. All right, so if I've got with equipment on, okay, now here, these shapes here, I might not want them to be selectable when the equipment's on. I just want to be able to select those. So which layer are these on? Let's have a look. That's furniture and movable furnishings. Okay, and hopefully it's all right, correct under there. So furniture and movable furnishings. So with the with equip, I might want to say movable furnishings. I'm going to lock those and furniture. So I'm now saying I want those layers locked, and because I've made a change, I'm going to save that layer set. So that means that I can no longer select this furniture because it's been locked. So if I do no equip, it's selectable. With equip, it's not selectable. And that makes it a lot easier to work focused on those particular items that you're interested with. You can do a similar thing for the whether it's printable or not, for example. You can also change the snap, the glue, and the color of the layers and save them as part of your layer set, which makes life a lot easier. So let's go for with equipment, for example, and I now got these as non-selectable, but I could have also in my layer properties all those things which are furniture. Let's change that to grey, and movable furniture. Let's change that to grey, movable furniture, and if I apply that, we now see that they've been low lighted. Okay, and again, I could save that as my layer set, like so. So now I'll go with equip, and it's like so. No equip, it's like that. And that just makes your life a lot easier for reusing your Visio pages for multiple appearances, multiple audiences. So there you go.